Now the last activity that I have given you as homework, this is activity 5 and this is a very important one. With this activity we will understand why water, normal water, is a good conductor of electricity. Through water, why does current can flow? How does water current flows through water? Through distilled water current cannot flow. Distilled water is a very pure form of water. Now in this activity 5 what we'll do is we'll add some extra things like salts, okay, acids or alkaline, alkalis, that is alkalis, okay, understood. In distilled water we'll add some extra things like salt, acids and alkalis, that is minerals, okay. If we add minerals, clear, if we add extra things to the distilled water, then what happens we will see in this activity 5. Now in this activity 5, let me read first. The materials required or water used in this: distilled water, it is required; plastic beaker, this is the materials required for the experiment that they have done; then tester to test that current is flowing or not; bulb, battery, copper wire, common salt, that is NaCl, the salt that we eat, that we use every day, that is common salt. Common salt formula is NaCl. Remember this, the formula for common salt that we use regularly is NaCl, sodium chloride, sodium and chloride mixed together, sodium chloride. Then hydrochloric acid, that is acid, or sulfuric acid, H2SO4, these are acids. And sodium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide is a alkali base, okay. The proceed as in activity 4, same as activity 4. In activity 4 only distilled water was used. Now in that distilled water we'll pour some salt or acids or alkalis, understood. Now what happens, as soon as you add salt or acids like this type, then what happens, the bulb starts to glow, okay, the bulb starts to glow. That means what, from that very experiment we can see or we can say that as soon as the common salt was added to the distilled water and the bulb is glowing, that means current begins to flow. The water becomes a conductor. The distilled water that was an insulator now becomes a conductor as soon as you add this salt or H2SO4 or HCl or NaOH, understood. So why this happens is very clear. How? See, in distilled water there was no minerals, there was no Na, sodium or hydrogen, chlorine, okay, sulfur dioxide or like this type, sodium, minerals are not present. As soon as minerals were added, as soon as the minerals were added in the form of salt, acids or alkalis, then the current begins to flow through this. That means current or current in liquid flows through the minerals, okay. See the difference again. In distilled water there were no minerals, so current was not flowing. Now as soon as you add the minerals, here I am saying minerals by this NaCl, sodium, chlorine, all of these are minerals, zinc, this is just an example, there are many things. So zinc, iodine, all of these are minerals, and as soon as you add these minerals in water, the current begins to flow. That means what, the current in liquids flows through or flows with the help of the minerals. That is the activity 5, important point of activity 5, understood. Distilled water is a bad conductor, that is an insulator, and if you add in distilled water various minerals, acid, that is salts, acids or alkalis, then the current begins to flow, Okay, now the extra point that I am saying is how now why does the water or liquid conduct electricity? From these two activities we can say in water or in any liquid the current flows because of the minerals present in it, the substances present in the liquid. If it was distilled water, in distilled water there are no minerals or substances, so current was not flowing. But as we add some minerals and minerals or some substances, that current begins to flow. That means what? The current in liquid flows because of the minerals or the extra substances that are used in the liquid. Okay.